There wasn't a day went by before we started making more of a mess. This is Josh Van Dyne's crew here. He's putting in the water from the house to include a pair of hydrants, and then he's also doing the septic work, which due to elevations requires us to put a tank out in this area here and a pump over, well, he's almost to it now. What was surprise trenches when I got back from the farm and my Monday half day is now being backfilled in already. I had just enough time to grab a quick bite of lunch and get a pair of network cables down in the trench before they backfilled. So this piece of poly tubing is for a hydrant that'll go down in here between the man door and the first garage door for doing things like washing cars. And then you can see the network cable I got running up there. That'll come up this wall here, and there's enough cable to go up above the door somewhere, and I can put a switch or router or something on a shelf. Other piece of the Ethernet cable is right here because there's a hydrant at this post right here. So it's going to go down here and come around into the end of the wood shop. The rest of the spool's right there. And I haven't decided whether I'm just gonna come up in that corner or if I'm gonna come along the length of the wood shop under the slab and then come up in this shared wall. Concrete in a couple days. Right now they're finishing up water. Get a pressure check on that and be good to go. So now that the work inside the wood shop is done, RNA is here and prepping for the slab. But man, is it dusty. We haven't had rain in forever. This stuff is like powder. It's just gross. So they're getting some gravel in here. Then we're gonna lay out and they will scrape away a deep section for where the two-post lifts may or may not go. And move on to the next step. I don't know if the camera shows how cloudy it is in here or not, but it is absolutely terrible. Look at the roof over here. Yeah, that roof is black, not brown. The operators use just a little of this topsoil back here to start working up around the back. I'm anxious to see what this looks like right now. Hope it doesn't all wash away. Oh, yeah. Well, steeper than I had imagined, but that was before we knew the exact elevation. We're still plenty far enough off the property line. Yep, it's been that dry. We'll put a little water down, give these guys a break from the choking dust. Digging a deep spot here for a two-post lift, and then because I'm not really sure I want one there, we got another one laid out over here. This one here is 28 feet off the back wall. That's 10 feet for the machine shop, and then 18 feet to the center of the posts. And then it's right dead smack in the middle of the building itself, these trusses here. This one here is 20 feet. It's center of the building, so 20 feet, and then it's center of the doorway. So it should be pretty easy to find again. It's pour day. It's about 6 a.m.
It'll be good and light by 7, but I think the first cement truck is here. I think it's actually before that, but we'll see. 67 or 8 yards of concrete going in the building. We're gonna Georgia buggy all of it in. That's what they call these powered buggies, as opposed to taking panels off and anything like that. Here we go.
Yeah, baby. They cut it all last night while it was still fairly green. Hello. Wood shop looks good. Hello. They cut between every post because they say the slabs break at every post, which makes sense. Wood shop, it's not so big a deal where they cut them. They stayed out of the bathroom for me. Although, again, wouldn't have mattered. Stayed mostly out of the machine shop. We're good there. It's still dry. Oh, God, is it dry. We got a little bit of water here. We got just a few raindrops this morning. Enough to come off the roof, and I'm learning what the leaves are going to do around here in the fall. It's been a couple days. We can walk on the cement now. Can't drive on it yet, but we can definitely walk on it. And the Amish crew's been back to do some of the interior walls. So this is the wall that separates the garage. Prior to this, it was all just imagination. So the wall's all sheeted with house wrap, just like the exterior walls. And they said that was for the spray foam. I don't think it applies so much for this wall, but on the metal walls, the house wrap keeps the spray foam from sticking to the metal if you ever want or need to take it off. I've got my, what I call my dollhouse, which is all my scale cutouts that I did on my CNC machine years ago of everything I own, including some things I don't own. This is the four-post lift that I'm going to buy myself when we're moved in. And they framed in the wall here to the wood shop. So this big giant door here will have a 3-foot door, or what they call a 3-0 door. That's a solid glass panel so you can see in and out. And then the rest of the space will get filled in with a semi-permanent panel, something that can be removed. But I need this width here to get the CNC router through. And so now we're in the wood shop. So this is what it looks like from here. Tomorrow starts the electrical. My new friend Nick is going to be here to start roughing in the electrical, and I'll show you that as we do it. In the meantime, I got to go around and mark where I want all my outlets and everything to go. For the last 3 days, Nick Farrell has been here with his helper doing the electrical. So we're about 90%, maybe a little less than that because the panels aren't in, but as far as pulling wire goes, we're 90+% done. Everything being roughed in. I've got outlets just about everywhere. Indecision turned into additional outlets that will just start off covered, and for things like welders, I've got way more locations for welders. That's what that big black wire is over there. Than I need, but it'll give me options. Lots of stuff outdoors as far as outlets go on the front side here, and a couple on the back in the storage area for battery maintainers or whatever. Lots of lights and ceiling fan going in under the porch. Wire's currently just thrown up in the soffit right now. We need some extra blocking. Lots more outlets in here. I'm pretty sure this one room has more outlets in it than that entire house that was built in the 80s. And lights. We are going to have some frickin' light. There's 21 high bay lights going in just this bay. Everything else is 8-foot strips because the ceilings aren't high enough to accommodate high bay lights. So, super excited. Next steps are obviously get the panels in. RNA should be here to dig the trench for the service entrance. Get that going. Also going on today is more work on the septic. We're going to get the hydrants installed, and by we, I mean Josh Van Dyne. And then I believe he's going to finish the route into the house, which goes in right there in the corner where the chimney is. Next step, dig a trench. This is for the service entrance. Turn your head for a minute, and somebody starts digging up the yard. This is the last of the trench going over to the house. That's where we're going to pick up our water supply. And that's also where I've got my network cable connected, so we'll get that through the wall in the same time. So over here, they've got the hydrants in. They haven't filled back in yet because they want to pressure test those. So they're in, and that sleeve they're in is so they can be unscrewed and removed in the future if necessary, because this all gets poured in concrete. This whole area out here gets concreted. But we'll get that standing up straight, and hopefully there's enough gravel in there. Same thing over here. They got this hydrant in now, so it's on the end of the line. And this will be unsoftened water, but filtered. So this will come out of the filter. And the other thing they did was finish hooking up the septic. So I now have a tank, a 500-gallon holding tank. It'll have the pump in it, and then a float switch, and it'll pump it back over to the house over here for the 2-chamber septic system. Yet again, another trench. I'd like to say this is gonna be the last one, but it's not. All the downspouts get trenched. Oh boy. This one is the final trench to hook up to the septic system. I hope it's the kind they thought it was. Now let's check in on progress. Over here, we are good to go. The trenches are still open because there needs to be some inspections. Had a little water issue here which got taken care of, hence the pump. We're all hooked up to the septic tank and that line is all run back. Let's go walk over there real quick. This is our 500-gallon tank. It's just a in-between tank. That little riser right there is for electrical. We go up here to our electrical connection and our box, which will buzz and do things if it overfills. There's a couple of floats on it. And there's the outie of the building, which then goes into the tank. So all that's good, ready for inspection. Water perspective, everything's got hydrants, ready for inspection, and we'll finally close these pits. And over here, the electrician is wrapping up. Rough electrical with an inspection on Monday. Right, Ian? Yep. We're gonna have lights. We got panels. I mean, there's only a few wires coming into these panels. I think we should add more circuits, but nah, I'm just kidding. So that is all ready for rough inspection. And after that will be spray foam. Well, the temperature dropped like a rock, but I don't really care because we just had 3 inspections, 4 actually, and we're filling in ditches now. Getting things filled in on the water and the septic side, and then we are good to proceed on the barn. On the electrical, we can backfill the service entrance ditch. They can spray foam and start to do that. But there'll be one more rough inspection when the boxes are actually mounted. So no big deal. We get that done and barely slow down. Now, I know Nick the electrician didn't call them more than, gosh, it can't have been an hour ago now. Guess the next thing we do is get some power. Beautiful morning for the end of October. Got 2 trades on site, concrete and excavating, filling in trenches and stuff from the downspouts, and they'll continue that over the next couple days. But big job right now is pouring the porch. Let's go take a look. Oh boy, another load of materials. 2 to go. This is for all the inside sheeting, inside girts, and the OSB up 8 feet. Metal will be in the next shipment, and then the last will be insulation. Well, last. Garage doors come after that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at the foam. The building is as done inside with spray foam as it can be. I say that simply because we're still dealing with the county. Just waiting for process now. There's nothing to do here. As soon as the county is done approving the change to the plans, which is really just the update they requested for this wall, they'll come out and inspect it and check the box. We'll move on. All the rest of the walls can be closed up and done. The main part of the shop has been done. This little wall over here, again, had to remain open, same story. And then the wood shop is 100%. So this spray is 2 inches thick, and they represent it as the equivalent of R19 bats. The manufacturer's density rates this foam at 7.4 R per inch. 6 is the traditional estimating value. This company's foam is a little denser. But what gets you the extra efficiency, lending a higher equivalent, lots of lawyer words here, is the fact that everything is sealed. There's no gaps like you would get between bat insulation. No vapor, no air. It's a sealed envelope. Everything except the ceiling, which will be blown. So super thanks to Irvin, who helped walk me through this. Never done spray foam. Everybody I know loves it. He was able to explain a little more of the science behind it, as well as give me some practical examples of how others have sprayed this amount of foam, done the same essential things I'm doing here, which is, you know, a wood shop and an auto shop, a place where I want to condition space, and they have been very happy with the result, and he's confident I will too. All right, time for a status update. Crews were here Thursday and Friday. Today's Sunday morning. They got all the ceilings in, all the ceiling insulation in. They got almost all the walls done. The walls are done in here in the garage, in the wood shop, and they've gotten all of the OSB that they're going to get up is up. Technically, they could put one more sheet right here, but they're holding off because the wall with no insulation is one of the ones we're being held hostage for. So I'll mask these windows up this morning and be ready to go in here, and then paint the prime the garage. That'll finish the priming, and I'll turn around and I'll go back and start all again with color. Until we get our framing inspection process handled, this is going to be the last of the work for a while. And the garage doors are going in. No more leaves in the garage unless the door's open. It's Tuesday morning and Farrell Electric is back, or at least part of it. Yeah, garage doors are up. Let's go inside and take a look. We are starting this morning in the wood shop. This is first and foremost. From here we go to the garage, and then ceilings in the big bay, and then walls. They'll be awesome. Woo! We wait no longer. I finished painting up the garage walls. Had to roll them because the airless I was using wouldn't push the paint. The electrician is done in here on the ceiling and the walls. The garage doors are in. Still no power. But today's the day we start moving stuff. We're gonna go by the farm and see if we can fire up a couple El Caminos, make sure the forklift runs, and maybe move one or two things today, and start in earnest again tomorrow. No lights in the ceiling here yet, but the walls are pretty much done electrically, obvious, except for, you know, counter. They had to redo a couple panels over there, so I got to paint them. Plus I have to roll all these walls again
The airless let me down a little bit. Wood shop is ready to go. Well, there's nothing to do but to do it. We're gonna head over to the farm and open some doors up, see if some cars will start, and start bringing things over. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to do a montage here because I'm gonna be so busy moving everything that camera work and all that might suffer significantly, but I'll bring you in at key points and see how she went. Here we go. I wasn't lying. I didn't have time to play with the camera. We got some of the stuff over here. The box trailer is completely full, nose to tail. CNC plasma table is in it, along with all kinds of other stuff. I'll take you over with me in a little bit and show you where we're at. Meantime, I'm gonna shuffle some of this stuff around. We just dumped it in here and said good enough. Power this afternoon, they promise. Yeah, see how that works out. Oh yeah, power is on. Last night, for the first time, took AES forever and a very diligent electrician to get this handle. So we got light. Main shop is super bright, love the high bays. The garage is perfect for a garage space. And yes, the wood shop's got light too. For the very keen-sighted, there's one light not on over there. That's because it's on a different switch. That's actually back in the corner when this is all done. Still got a few things to wire switch-wise, but can't do because of the walls. There it is. And move-in has continued. A little of this, a little of that. But unfortunately, it started to rain out and the beginnings of winter are here. It's about right, middle of November. It's going to start to get nasty. I'm just glad to have lights because the time has changed. Yeah. All right, this morning's job is to get all the steel off of Tanner's trailer and stacked in this corner where it belongs. Those are the racks. They got to go on the wall first. Let's get with it. Well, the weather's terrible, but it's the best we're going to get for a while. At least it ain't raining, right, Bob? So we get the door open or off, get this left-hand wall section out, forklift started, and we ought to be good to go. Let's see how this works out for us. I'll bring you back when I can, but this is kind of more a thinking game. There. Yeah.
Oh, just need a couple pins to go in there.
Even just something that's kind of bent like a, I don't know what that.
Just a fork with.
I think honestly, just come in from the side.
Oh.
They turn that easy.
Okay.
Anyways, the lathe is up on roller skates, getting ready to pull that out. Hook myself to the yoke there. We got the door open now that we've come back with a square drive bit because, well, I'm an idiot and I used square drive and Phillips. So I'm gonna set the camera down over here and we'll drag her out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Get near the fort.
And here they are. The last of the big pieces. Now I still got some cleanup and my plywood and stuff is still over there. Sheet goods, plastic, things like that. But the lathe is here, the mill is here, and the big ugly forklift. So someday, when I can work my way through this range of stuff, the machine shop will be right back there, and that's where it'll get built in. But not gonna happen in this video,
And in fact, this is where we're going to end it. Everything's here. Everything's accounted for. Cars are here. And I'd love to have this in a more completed phase, but, well, we have that common thread called the county. Dun, dun, dun. Here's a quick peek inside the wood shop. Things are starting to shape up. Got the new table saw. Planned to order it, but they had it in stock, so that's in the other room. And the other thing that's got to get done is build the bathroom, which goes in this corner. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this couple of videos on the build of the shop and moving in. This is where new ones will come from here on out. If you like the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Doesn't cost anything to do any of the above, but it helps me out and I appreciate that. Have a good day. That is a lot of beams. And that's a lot of firewood. Well, there it is. Last load until such a time as I can move into the shop. And then the stuff that's in those two barns I'll empty out. The old corn crib is better than I found it. Yes, it's full of weeds, but it gets this way every year like this. So much cleaner than when we found it. Ooh, got some buckets over there. Dumpster's ready to go. A little bit of space left in it at this end. Other than that, I got it covered up with the mattresses and box springs. That leaves what's in here. Now, there is a good chance that tomorrow morning I will also be, I know I said I only had 2 trailers, but I might be stacking these cabinets on top of each other too high. There's 4 of them. Moving the mill around, moving some of the stuff around, because this might be where Sparky's going to go for a while. There just isn't any place at the new house to store it, and we're supposed to get rain, and like all good G-bodies, it leaks. Got about a minute left in here. Just about everything's on wheels when I figure out what's going on in the other room. All the stories. Beautiful hickory cabinets. Stained glass. Deb's office that was our house for a while. Then it was my office for the last basically 4 years. A lot of stories. Mom helped me put this metal up. There's a picture there somewhere. Lots of family help building this building. All right, well, let's lock the doors and start the new chapter.